Hello, and thank you for joining me today on the Political Conversationalist. My name is Ben Phipps, and it's Friday, so we're doing another brief update video with three big news stories happening this week. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into those. In Bakersfield, California, there's been a shooting where 6 people have died. This is this morning, Thursday morning, when I record. 6 people have died as a result of this shooting. Now, this is what makes it weird. A man and his wife drove to a trucking company where the man shot 2 men dead, also killed his wife, drove to another residence and killed 2 more men. When he was confronted by police, he apparently pulled the vehicle over and shot himself. Here's what was interesting to me about that. One of the California police officers, and you can read it in the article I'll link, claimed it was a mass shooting. And it doesn't really seem like a mass shooting to me. Now, obviously these are very targeted individuals. He didn't go into a population center, he didn't go into the mall or a movie theater or something like that in an attempt to kill as many people as possible. He obviously had a specific grievance with these 6 people, well 5 that he killed and then himself. So I find it kind of inaccurate for the police especially to be calling it a mass shooting. Keep that in mind, though, when you hear of statistics labeling or supposedly telling you how many mass shootings there are every year in America or how we have more mass shootings than anywhere else. The last time I checked into it, anytime more than 4 people were struck by a bullet, it was considered a mass shooting. Even if it's a gang shootout between rival gang members or shooting and 2 people shoot each other and then shoot 2 cops. As long as 4 people get struck by bullets, some agencies, not really federal agencies, but some organizations will consider that a mass shooting and factor that into these statistics to kind of overinflate the number of mass shootings we have. So we do have a lot of mass shootings, and that is a horrible thing, but it detracts from how horrible it is by calling everything a mass shooting. Now, this one I was actually surprised to hear about, so thanks CNN. But there have been multiple investigations by states into the Catholic Church. An investigation by the state of Pennsylvania revealed that 300 priests had been credibly accused of sexual abuse, and it had all been glossed over and covered up. So, subsequently, multiple states have launched their own investigations. New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Missouri, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Wyoming. They're all starting their own investigations, and then in Connecticut, the bishop of the Bridgeport diocese there, he is launching a third-party investigation of these claims because he said words are not enough, now is the time for action. Also today, Thursday, the Pope is meeting with some U.S. officials, high-ranking Catholic officials, to determine what's going on with this and what to do with this and if there's anything that can be done about this. Many people are angry at the Catholic Church because they haven't gone through any steps to prosecute bad priests. A lot of times they're moved to different dioceses, moved to different parishes, and everything's just kind of glossed over and covered over with the extremely incomprehensible amount of money the Catholic Church can raise at a moment's notice. But maybe now, finally, they're taking action on it and are going to do something about it because this is an epidemic. 300 cases in Pennsylvania, that's not the most populous state. There are more states with more people, more states with more Catholic influence, and I'm sure this will be coming out over the next couple of years just how bad this epidemic is. And unfortunately, to me, I see this in a lot of the same light I see police brutality. And let me explain what I mean by that. Not all priests are child abusers. Anyone who says all priests are child abusers is obviously lying and they're wrong. But because the Catholic Church does not go through the steps to cull out those bad priests, it makes the entire church look bad. Whereas if the Catholic Church had dissociated itself from those people and cooperated with authorities and tried to get these people investigated and prosecuted, they would look a lot better. That's the same way to me the police are viewed. Many people view the police negatively, not because they think all police are bad, but when there is a bad police officer, he's not fairly prosecuted, the investigation doesn't happen, and it's kind of always the other police officers take up for him regardless of how wrong he was. And because the police department does not do a good job of policing itself, people lose respect in the entire department. So in any organization, if you wish to have a good standing in society, you must be willing to cut off members that are detrimental to your viewpoint and to the way the public views you. The same way any administration would be, the same way any business is. As soon as you start bringing negative light to that business, to that organization, you should be cut off. In my mind, it works like a tree. You can have a beautiful apple tree, hundreds of apples on it, but if there's one dead branch, it makes the entire tree look bad. Eventually that will spread if you don't cut off that dead branch. And that's what's happened, I think, with the Catholic Church, and to a lesser extent with the police department. But moving on, Trump has signed an executive order to punish foreign powers for trying to interfere with elections. Now, this executive order is kind of a strange one, one that I don't think a lot of people expected. This, of course, comes in the wake of the 2016 election in which he was elected, and many people claimed Russia tried to interfere with, which I believe they did in a roundabout way. They did try to sway the election in one way or another. But this executive order is going to be aimed not only at foreign powers such as Russia, such as Al-Qaeda, or foreign organizations, foreign countries. It's also going to be foreign individuals, foreign investors. Basically, anyone outside the United States tries to influence an election in any way, they're subject to punishment under this executive order. And most of that is economic sanctions. And the thing I think most people are disappointed with is that the president will have to sign off personally on each and every case. So if it is proven beyond reasonable doubt that Cuba, for whatever reason, tried to interfere in an election, then they will take that information to Trump, and Trump will decide what to do with it. Or what if this executive order stays in law, then also in whoever comes next, whether it be Marco Rubio or whoever becomes president, the president has the final say on whether or not sanctions are imposed. Now, it's not a perfect law. It's not really the best law possible, and many people are calling it kind of a lame duck law in that it's not going to have a big effect. It can't have a big effect, and it's just kind of posturing by the Trump administration, which it may very well be. I'm not 100% sure either way. But regardless of that, it is a step in the right direction to show countries, the rest of the countries in the world, that we mean business about our elections. They're ours and don't mess with them. So hopefully they will take note of that. Hopefully this executive order will actually be used as prescribed and maybe even expanded upon to punish people more for trying to interfere in elections. Anyway, that's all I had today for this Friday, this brief update video. If you learned anything, be sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments below. If you have a long question though, and you'd like to submit a question to a Q&A style video I have planned in the future, you can go to my Facebook page through the link in the description, and from there you can email me. And that's the best way to get a response from me quickly, and that's the best way to get a response to a longer, more detailed question than I could possibly answer in the comments down below. Anyway, thanks for watching.